What did your friend do that accidentally turned you on? This one girl started tickling me. When I started tickling her back, she started to moan and said she was sensitive there. Awkward drive home. Oh, I know that feeling. Except that in my case, my friend and I were watching a movie down in his parents' basement back in high school. It was a little chilly and we were kinda playfully fighting over the throw blanket. It turned into a bit of a tickle fight, but I was winning because I am not ticklish except for a few extremely sensitive places, whereas he was ticklish everywhere. He told me it wasn't fair that he couldn't tickle me since my only ticklish spots are the sides of my breasts and back of knees. I dared him to try it, thinking he never would as he was a good Christian boy. He absolutely went for it and tickled me unmercifully for about a minute until it morphed into complete and total desire. He could absolutely tell the second it changed and we ended up making out. I absolutely would have fucked him then and there, but we never went any farther. We never had a repeat of the makeout session, but there was always a huge amount of sexual tension between us after that and it really kind of ruined the friendship. Multiple things. First, in a party he danced with me and lifted me in the air. I'm not thin and not many people tried this with me. Then on a trip we made with friends, his cousin made a tent using sheets and a bunk bed. We went inside to read manga on his phone. He put his arms around me so we both could see the screen. Before anyone asks, he wasn't into me back then, but now we've been together for nearly 4 years. As a guy I decided to fall asleep on a close friend's lap who then proceeded to stroke my hair and lightly pulling it. It was really hard to fall asleep cause I was more worried that I'd get a boner from that. He and I were watching a movie, when he gave me a hug. While hugging me he gently ran his hands up and down my back. He didn't mean anything sexual with it. I on the other hand have a very sensitive back and was severely turned on by it. The next day he made fun of me for being ticklish. I then admitted to the truth about that. Needless to say he did it again later. We've been dating for over a year now, getting close to 2.
Now, as you can see, a cat's balance. Hey, no, put your nose on me when I'm walking through with balance and grace. You know better than that.
So we slapping people, huh? Okay.
A group of us went to a firework display and during the usual louder and bigger finale fireworks she jumped, grabbed my arm tight and didn't let go. Not sure what happened inside me but yeah, that did it. That's some anime shit right there. Now we just need the part where she confessed but the fireworks were too loud and you couldn't hear it. Anime ending theme song swells, credits pass by in a corner of the screen, end of season. You've seen too many slice of life anime because you were able to describe that perfectly. But I too have seen too many because I was able to imagine that with audio and visual. Guy here. Senior year of high school. A guy dares me to give a massage to my girl best friend when she sits down. She sits down, I start giving her a shoulder massage, which I've been told I'm very good at, and she lets out a couple of soft moans, and completely relaxes. I had never really been attracted to her until then. Then I stopped and she slumped back, tilted her head back so I was looking at her upside down and she said don't stop, sad face. So, that was some feelings I felt. Since this got a fair amount of views, nothing ended up coming out of it. She had a boyfriend at the time who was jealous of me for quite some time according to her. We haven't talked much in recent years but we're having dinner and catching up either this weekend or next, depends on if I have to work this weekend or not. I have feelings for her but I'm not sure those feelings are strong enough / worth ruining our 18+ year friendship. I told her a joke and she smiled so much, looked at the ground then gave me a "you're so funny" look. I honestly wanted to date her since then. It's been 3 years and I'm still thinking of her. He still does this. He takes my shopping bags and puts his hand on my back as we cross streets. I'm short and I have a limp and he's so kind and caring about it. I asked him out 3 times now, about 2 years apart each time. I was very politely rejected. We are great friends, and I'm happy with that. He's a joy to have in my life. The limp is from a very serious injury I had a few years back. I'm not actually a grandma. But I do love tea and crochet, so make of that what you will. I'm not abnormally short, I'm just regular, can't reach the top shelf and my feet don't touch the floor from chairs short. Hess worried jackasses in giant pickups won't see me. He's not wrong, I've had a lot of near misses. Thanks for the kind words. I'm at work, some more replies later, but I'm glad my wonderful friend's kindness made others smile too. He's cool like that. I remember a girl classmate friend liking the smell of my deodorant and just grabbing onto my arm and then proceeded to walk beside me. What kind of deodorant? Nivea Men Fresh Active Deodorant. Nice job Nivea Men Fresh Active Deodorant marketing team. I offered him a sip of my drink and he made intense eye contact with me as he slowly put the straw in his mouth and took a nice long sip. I found it kinda weird to be turned on so much by him sucking on a straw since I don't have a dick. We've been dating for over 2 years now. He was driving and I was riding shotgun. He had to reverse to parallel park and turned his torso towards me, putting his arm around my seat in order to look back. He did that so confidently and effortlessly that it made me feel a little funny. You mean my good parking skills could actually be useful? When he flicked between languages whilst talking on the phone with his mother and then asking me to pass him his wallet. I knew people could switch it on and off like that, but I've never seen the flow quite as effortlessly. Was on the bus for a field trip in high school. I was a little late. The only open seat was next to my crush. I was in grad 12, she was in grad 11. It was a 6-hour round trip. And the person you sat with was your partner for the entire trip. She had a tank top and wasn't wearing a bra. It was a bit chilly on the bus. On our way back she was cold and didn't bring a sweater. I had a long sleeve on so I handed her my sweater. She put it on and snuggled into me and fell asleep. So cute. When we got back to town I offered a ride home. We ended up making out in her driveway. A week later I got my sweater back asking for a refresher of my smell. The sweater smelt just like her. I asked her on a date that day. We dated for 2 years. Girl was really affectionate and hugged everyone. When she got to hugging me I was really awkward so I admitted that I had never hugged a girl before. She said, and I quote, "It's fine, I'll be your first time." All my friends were laughing at how that sounded and high school me was rock hard. She looked at me. I was cracking jokes with a co-worker and when she laughed at something I said she pushed at my chest in that "oh stop it you" kinda way and woo, oh boy, I damn near melted right then and there. A friend of mine used to sit on my lap when we'd run out of chair hanging with other friends and she'd move her hips to find a comfy spot, but goddamn it was hard on me, hey, to find a way that my little John wouldn't poke her in the butt. Which did happen a couple times, which would be followed by her giving me this smile and shifting just a little more and saying something coy. Another time was when we were hanging out while I had a really loose tooth. She was getting annoyed at me pushing at it with my tongue, so she pushed me to my bed, straddled me, and reached her head in my mouth to tear my tooth out. From the sounds being made, my groaning, the bed shaking, my dad came up to make sure we were all right, then saw us sweaty, her on top of me, face right up to mine, and thought we were about to do it lol. After she used that as a distraction enough to yank my tooth out, I had to go downstairs to stop up the bleeding and managed to explain to him what had happened, to which he looked mildly disappointed, and I think his headcanon to this day is that I had sex with her, or at least some light, over the clothes, action. Okay, but seriously, did nothing happen with her after this? She literally straddled you on a bed and nothing? I tried asking her out multiple times during our teen years and she genuinely wasn't interested in being anything more than a friend. Then people wonder why I genuinely can't tell if someone is into me.